up one come all, those short, those tall. There may be some clowning around, but you'll get an earful all in all. No need for waivers, no need for saviors. Don't be frightened, do not hide. Enter now and enjoy the ride. So step right up, those far and near. The attraction is set. It's Ear for Fear.
Hi, welcome to the Ear for Fear podcast. This is the podcast that talks about scary movies or movies trying to be scary. I'm Rick. I got Morris.
Hey, what's up, Morris?
Hey, Morris. Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick. Hey, I'm Rick. You're Morris.
Hey, you want to switch today?
Yeah, we'll
switch. I'm sure there's a horror movie that switched. Hey, I'm gonna let you introduce. Our special
so we
guest.
have a special guest today. First time on the podcast. My son Dylon.
Hi, hello.
Hey,
welcome, bud.
Thanks for coming out today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, we are doing 1988's Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Everybody's running for the lights of the killer clowns from outer space. Killer clown, wow, 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 from outer space.
Now, if that doesn't get you in the mood, man, I don't know what does. I was watching it again last night, and I was thinking, I was looking at the hair, the feathered hair.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously the music. There were times during the movie that I paused the scenes in the drugstore so that Darren and I could look at all of the stuff, the candy. And I'm like, okay, yeah, all of that is, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about this. And I think one of them was like Certs or the gum, gum
Doublemint?
The gum that had the liquid inside of it. Freshen Up. Was it Freshen Up?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I loved Freshen.
Oh, I was looking at the toilet paper because they had Marina. They don't make Marina anymore. And remember when they made toilet paper in pink and light blue?
Yes,
and green and light light yellow.
I don't remember Marina.
Marina.
I don't think I remember Marina toilet paper. But we were looking at all these things, and I was just honestly, I was geeking out over the shit that was in the drugstore and versus like what was happening in the movie. We kept pausing everything.
Oh shit.
Anyways, man,
I was looking at the candy that was 45 cents.
Oh, was it 45 cents?
It was 45
Oh, shit. I remember it was 25.
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, no. I remember when candy was 25 cents in the late 70s.
Yeah.
But by the time that this movie came out, 88. So, yeah, candy was like 45 cents. Now it's like.
Oh, dude, $2 for like a candy bar or something? Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you go get a Twix right now, what is it, like $2? I'm like, fuck you, $2.
I always wait for the, get 3 for $5 or 3 for $4 or 4 for $5. And I'll take advantage of that, and then I'll keep them at home. And then when I do get a chocolate craving, I'll go get a candy bar.
I don't find myself really buying chocolate much anymore.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, that's all I wanted, right? And now that I can get it anytime I want, I'm like, I'm not spending that, nor do I really care. I
like candy bars.
Occasionally I do, but it's rare, man.
Yeah.
Dylan, do you find yourself like...
No,
like getting, you don't do that, huh?
No,
like when you were younger, you're like all about the fucking candy, right?
Of
and
course.
then now you're like, whatever.
Oh, I remember Dylan used to hide the empty wrappers in the back seat.
Oh yeah, stuff them underneath the car seats.
Yeah, the car seat cushions.
Yeah, so you would know.
That's pretty funny. I guess before we jump into this, you want to? I was going to ask Dylan some questions, but I think it's appropriate for you to ask him the questions.
Oh,
I have the list, and since this is your little boy,
all right. This is my.
I figure I defer to you,
my brethren.
Yeah, Morris doesn't know the questions. Either does Dylan.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm looking at these.
Yeah, I figured he could ask you. I just
all right. Well, Dylan,
Yes.
if you can be honest about this, what was the very first movie or horror movie that you remember seeing as a kid, and did it mess you up?
Oh man, it's hard to go with the first. I mean, I definitely remember watching, or looking in at a bunch of movies you were watching, but
After you were supposed to be in bed.
supposed to be sleeping,
Yeah.
and I would sneak out and watch them from behind the couch while you were.
Yeah, I heard about all this later.
You know, I can't.
What kids do.
I don't know if there's a solid first horror movie that I can remember. I'm gonna be honest.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any particular one?
That sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, that would have like totally screwed you up because me, and I've said this in the podcast, the original Halloween, I watched it when I was young, and I think it was the night of Halloween, and we had a babysitter, and I couldn't sleep all night. I thought Michael was like in the room under the bed. That still messes me up, and that was early 80s, I
Yeah.
think.
And for me-
anything that just like it like still messes with you.
The number one I think that really messed me up might have been The Changeling. I think I've talked about this before.
yeah,
The
yeah.
The Changeling really screwed me.
Yeah, I remember showing him that because I figured that, it doesn't have like boobs or blood in it, you know.
No, not at all.
You know, and it's something that he could probably handle. But yeah, I mean, if it's given me the creeps at the age of 22, 23 when I first saw it, because I saw it later in life,
Oh, that's right.
that, yeah, it probably would mess you up because it sound effects are great. You know, it gives me chills just talking about it.
Oh, dude, I introduced that to Andrea when she was like, I'm trying to say 10. No, maybe it was a little younger than that, dude. 8 to 10, because Andrea wanted to start getting into horror movies, and we were living at the condo at Greenback.
Yeah.
And I introduced the Changeling to her, and she kept taking the blanket and putting it over her head. So, yeah. Anyways.
But so you would say The Changeling?
I would
then?
say The Changeling.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I do remember if I felt like it wasn't gonna. You were obviously because you're my kid. I introduced you to a lot of horror movies a lot younger than other people would have probably been introduced to them.
Yeah.
Like
I'd agree.
Salem's Lot and
Oh, yeah.
Gremlins and
Well, I remember talking to kids at school about some of the horror movies, and none of them knew what I was talking about because none of them were watching that.
No, because your dad's a fucking
Yeah.
I know. I mean, none of this surprises me because I
Yeah.
mean, your dad is such a huge fan of horror. So I always knew he would introduce you to them.
Dylan probably saw
early on.
like Friday the 13th and stuff. Like,
oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like there were certain movies I would not introduce to the kids until I felt they were like older and ready. And there's certain ones like he should not have been watching Friday the 13th at a young age.
No.
Like, definitely not. I don't know if he did, but he shouldn't have.
I mean,
I think you saw Scream pretty early too. didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Scream was another one.
I don't feel like Scream is as bad.
No.
I don't think so. Like as bad.
Right.
I think what I'm talking about is a lot of the nudity that you see in those early slashers
Yeah.
that I don't recall. Scream didn't have that.
I do remember hiding his eyes on some
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
you
Like
did?
when
Okay.
when I knew the booby parts were
The
coming.
booby parts were coming.
You know, peeking through the cracks in my fingers. You know.
Yeah. No, Dad, I didn't see any of that.
Okay, so let's see. Next question would be what would you say is your all-time favorite horror movie?
All-time favorite. Ooh. That's a good one. I mean, like what level of horror are we talking?
It could be any.
Anything.
Yeah.
Like my favorite's The Exorcist. Your dad's arguably is probably Halloween, the initial Halloween. But I mean, do you have like a favorite? Like,
I mean,
oh my god,
would you consider Gremlins a
yeah,
horror movie?
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
yeah.
then, yeah, Gremlins.
Gremlins?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, because I think it probably resonated with you early.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a
yeah,
great flick.
it was just a fun movie.
It is
I mean,
fun.
fun horror movie.
Yeah.
It's like it was done really well. Like it really holds up.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
And what would you say is the worst nightmare you've ever had, either being a child or an adult? It doesn't matter, either or.
Worst nightmare.
Worst nightmare of all time
Um,
that you can remember, and maybe just describe it a little bit.
I remember having, it was almost like a fever dream,
Mm-hmm.
but it reminded me definitely of like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
Oh shit.
And it was kind of, where it's, you're either in an alleyway or something and it's kind of foggy and you feel like a presence kind of there or following you.
But you didn't see anything.
But you don't really see it, but you hear things.
Yeah.
And
you know something's there. It's just
correct.
and you're trying to get out of that alleyway as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Whatever you can do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. If here's a question for you. It's a what would you do kind of thing. So zombies take over the earth. What is your weapon of choice?
I it's got to be like a sword or a bat.
Oh, really?
Some sort of maybe a makeshift melee weapon, but definitely nothing that requires ammunition.
Yeah.
Or some sort of projectile, because
You run out.
you run out.
Would you say like a katana then? Because like a broadsword would be probably too heavy.
I mean, yeah, that'd be a bit heavy.
I think he wants like a Hanzo sword.
yeah, like a
Kill Bill.
a katana.
It's not a bad idea.
Hanzo, man.
Hattori Hanzo.
Hattori Hanzo. Yeah, I mean, I think I would agree with Dylan. Like you almost want a gun, right? Just to shoot and be, because you don't have to get so close to them. But
Right.
dude, you eventually run out of ammunition,
yeah.
and what are you going to do then?
Like that came up, and I think you already checked out of The Walking Dead, but that came up in The Walking Dead where they ran out of ammunition, so they had to make ammunition.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So and they were running out of gas too, because gas would eventually, after 10 years,
It'd evaporate.
it'd
right?
evaporate.
Yeah.
So they were making. I think this happened in Fear the Walking Dead, where they were making gasoline.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, out of oil. So
Yeah. Huh.
yeah, you would actually have to learn, the actual go back to basics, essentially.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, yeah.
Huh.
All right. Well, would you spend a full night in a haunted house, a real haunted house, a house that has history of being haunted, if someone paid you?
That's a good one. I mean, because those the paranormal or supernatural types of movies.
And let's say it's not even here in the States. Let's say it's in Irish countryside or an English countryside.
that almost makes it worse.
Yeah, of course it does.
Oh, of course, because there's a history to the land that you don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a some sort of abbey, way back in the misty hills of some sort of English countryside.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think any money could
No?
make me do that. Just
One full night.
knowing what I know with horror movies.
Yeah, right. Something bad always
It's
happens.
just
I always think of like the Lady in Black,
Oh yeah.
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 There's just that air of uneasiness that you feel, yeah.
No. My answer would be Dylan's. Like I'd be like, no, I'm good.
yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
Like 10 million tax-free dollars.
Yeah, I don't know.
10 million?
Yeah, but what are you gonna do with the money if you're dead?
Yeah, right.
But how do you know you're going to
Or
die?
possessed or,
possessed.
something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Scarred for life in some sense.
All right. Well, yeah, you say no, so I get it.
Yeah.
All right. And last question for you. What do you want etched on your tombstone when you pass?
Oh wow,
That's a tough one.
that's
One to think about.
That's one to think about.
Is it something that you like, a famous quote or something you want to be remembered for?
I mean, maybe something to be remembered by. Sure, but what that is, I mean,
I know it's a tough.
that's almost like writing in a bit of arrogant territory where you're,
And you got to keep it short, right? Like
Yeah.
what sums you up in, like, I don't know, 6 to 10 words? Like, is that even possible?
yeah, I don't.
We've asked this before, and I like asking this one. I don't know if I was put on the spot. I don't know what I would say.
Yeah.
I've had a few go like they right off the head. I'm like, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would say.
I don't know what I'd say either.
Actually, to be honest, though, it's a tough question because, well, you're dead, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, and you don't know when you're dying. So, do you have that written somewhere? Like, hey, if I pass, I want this. Typically, someone just, it's a whatever it is. Let's say you're married at the time, or your kids, and they're like, we want to say this about dad, or whatever it is, and it's like, this is what we think. We don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
That is a tough one.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd have to put some thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, if it comes to you by the end of this episode, let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We'll
there you go,
We'll
man.
chime back in.
Might be some.
There you go. You survived the questions. They're pretty easy.
That's not too bad.
Just gives it allows for the people listening an idea of maybe who you are a little bit, because this is your first time out.
Yeah, no, that's
You know?
good point.
So yeah, man, that's it. All right. So Killer Clowns.
Yep.
Who wants to do before we do the spoilers? Who wants to do a synopsis? Morris, you want me to do one, or you want to do it? You want me?
Dylan want to do one?
Dylan, you want to tell the people what the movie's about?
If not, it's
if
cool.
you don't, that's okay, man. Don't, you know.
I'll let you take the reins.
All right. So this is how easy this is. Alien clowns come from outer space and terrorize the small town of Crescent Cove.
I love
That's
it.
great.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
That's the Cliff Notes version of this
That's
movie.
basically it.
So before we dive into it, full spoilers, everyone.
1, 2, spoilers coming for you.
All right. So Killer Clowns, 1988.
Yes.
I was telling Darren this last night. You know, the first time I saw this movie, I didn't see it when it first came out.
Oh, okay.
I saw it about 1991, and I'll tell you how I remember that. In 1991, I was getting ready to go into the Air Force.
Okay.
They send you to, I think it was Oakland. Mm-hmm. They send you to, in the particular branch of the time that I went into was the Air Force. They send you down there to get kind of like a physical and stuff, and you go through all this testing, and they set you up in a hotel or a motel. I don't remember. I think it might have been a motel. And I didn't want to go out. And I think I was 19 at the time.
Oh, so there were some guys that were going out to go get drinks and stuff.
No, I didn't really know anyone.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I didn't. I was staying in the hotel or motel by myself.
Oh, gotcha,
I didn't
gotcha.
know anybody.
Okay.
And I was there just for that. And Killer Clowns was on TV. That was my first experience with the movie. And I sat there watching it going, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was my first experience.
I remember
watching
the
it.
first time I saw it was there was a local video store in Orville, and it was a Radio Shack. It was also called Radio Shack / Radio Mart, and the Radio Mart part of it would rent videos, kind of like mom pop,
Pretty much,
you know?
yeah.
And it just happened to be the video of the week, and
the little pic that they have or something.
yeah. So it had to have been 88 or 89. So whenever it was new and threw up, on the shelf, and it didn't say like new releases. I think, I just noticed it.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
I'll rent this and I'll rent this one and this one. And that was one of the ones I rented. And, I rather enjoyed it. I like the Dickie song and,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
real catchy in the beginning. And I liked it.
I think what I've seen this a lot of times over the years, especially the last few years, and I know the movie's kind of cheesy and campy, right? But that's really the whole point of it.
It is.
And the acting isn't great, right, Dylan? I mean,
it's the fun of it, right?
it's fun.
It's a fun movie.
You think about it, you really break this down. It's kind of a brilliant movie. And I'll tell you why. Everyone's afraid of clowns. I would say almost most people are afraid of clowns.
Most definitely.
What I love about this is the little shit they sprinkle along the way. Popcorn that comes to life, right?
Right.
A friggin' balloon animal dog.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's all cotton candy cocoons. This shit is brilliant.
Or
it's
they trap you in the balloon.
the balloon.
yeah.
It's fucking brilliant, man. This is what I love about this movie because it all relates to a circus or clowns.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like rewatching it again last night going, yeah, is the acting not that? Sure, it's not that great. It's some of it's over the top. But it's all these other things. The clowns are scary.
You think they're scary?
I think they're scary.
I think they're cool, and I think they're I love the design. For me, they don't seem scary. For me, they're
the close up parts. You don't think there's and when the laugh, that weird
the laugh.
the fucking laugh. I think it's scary. Like
with
dude,
their teeth. I mean,
yeah,
because they look
teeth.
like a clown, but they look like a creature.
yes.
Yeah.
You don't think that's kind of scary?
I mean,
I think so.
the concept is scary for me. The concept is scary. The execution of it doesn't affect me the way that say like Art the Clown would be.
Okay.
A mime clown that obviously they don't talk either,
Yeah.
but something that just it's like I kind of feel uneasy with this thing. Of course, I'd feel uneasy with these guys, but I don't know. They're formed like even really evil clowns that they have in Halloween stores with big jagged teeth.
Yeah.
I don't find that. I find subtleness. I find things that try to attract you. I find things that are on the psychological level of being friendly that don't look menacing. I find that scary.
So you're almost like Pennywise would be scarier to you than
Pennywise would be scarier, but he's he's almost too friendly looking. I find like the Barnum and Bailey circus clowns. They're scary because they're meant to entertain and attract children, but at the same time, there's just that uneasiness about it. You know, of course, it's that primal thing that clicks with people of why they're afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think clowns as a whole are pretty. No matter what you do with them, whether they supposed to be like you said, for entertainment purposes when you go to a circus,
right?
Those are creepy. When you make them look creepy, they're creepy.
Yeah,
I feel like they're just creepy.
I think they're
unsettling, man. They're
unsettling.
Just I don't.
It's an extension of a court gesture, like because there was a role for the entertainment of the royal family is or the royal party is a court gesture and jester. I should say. I'm saying gesture.
Gesture, like yeah.
But a clown is there for entertainment purposes. But what if this clown had ulterior motives?
Yeah.
And obviously they're aliens.
Yeah,
it's a different concept altogether. But
yeah, I think when you first hear the movie, you're like, when let's say someone's never seen this movie or heard of it, you tell them, they're like, really?
Killer Clowns.
I mean, it sounds kind of goofy, right?
Oh, of course.
It sounds, and of course that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like everything works in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not a huge budget, right? But they did some really kind of cool effects.
Yeah.
There's some stuff along the way, like when one of the clowns is on its little, I don't even know what that is. It looks like a little motorcycle thing or scooter thing, and then it's on the side of the car, and it looks really crappy. But it's just kind of fun. I mean, to me, I love the shadow puppet thing.
Oh,
It's fucking cool, dude.
And he does a T-Rex and eats the people.
Right? I mean, he's doing this shit that no one can do with their hand, but it's just so funny. And then all of a sudden, gobbles. I mean, it's shit like that I really appreciate in this movie.
Right.
I
think what gets me, and it's kind of go back to the low budget aspect, is you can tell they stretched their dollar on this movie.
Oh, for sure.
But in the best way.
Yeah.
Honestly, in the best way.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
I think effects wise, they probably took like the money that they had, right? Whatever that was, they pushed it towards some of the effects, and especially the close up of the clowns, and then the actors, they were probably their friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Other than Suzanne Snyder and what's his name,
Grant Kramer.
Yeah, and then of course Mooney,
John Vernon.
Yeah, so you have a few actors here that they did other stuff,
Right.
But it was like, do you feel like, I was mentioning this to Darren last night. I'm curious. A lot of actors will start in horror movies, right? Mm-hmm. Kevin Bacon comes to mind, right? And then has this, Brad Pitt, I think, did it as well. Have these
Johnny Depp
have these great careers. I even think what's her name from Friends was was in one of the Leprechaun movies.
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston. They go on to bigger and better things. So I was thinking about this last night. I hope this doesn't sound terrible, and I'm not trying to be mean. Suzanne Snyder, she, we remember her in, I think she was in Night of the Creeps. I think she was in Weird Science. She was probably in a few other things.
Oh yeah, she's been in a ton.
But
I
then,
remember Weird Science.
Yeah, she's in Weird Science. And then all of a sudden she's doing Killer Clowns. And it's like, is that a sign of your career starting to be over?
Yeah.
When you were doing these other movies and then you're doing horror, I feel like you're going in the wrong direction. I don't know. I mean, am I being...
I can see your point of view.
Right?
I can definitely see your point of view.
And what was the dude? What he was in? What was he in? Was he in? He was in a couple. Was he in Hard?
Hard
Bodies.
Yeah.
And then so it's like
I only remember him from Hard Bodies in this movie. But Suzanne Snyder, I remember her from like a bunch of. I remember her from Fools Rush In. She was the other girlfriend.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit, I don't remember that.
Yeah. She was.
I don't think I ever saw that.
Return of the Living Dead Part 2. She was.
Oh, that's right. She was with Tom Matthews.
Yeah, she was Tom
that's
Matthews.
Right. Okay, but I mean, that was what 80. What was Return of the Living Dead Part 2?
88.
88.
Yeah.
Okay, so same year as this one. So it's like you're doing now. I don't know.
Yeah. She was also like one of the sorority girls in Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I said that. Night of the
yeah.
Creeps. Yeah. I thought she was in something else, but I can't think of. She was no. I'm thinking of someone else. I was going to say she was in.
Well, movie I don't remember that she was in. I mean, that I don't remember seeing, but that she was in was, gosh, what was the name of that movie? Where she's actually on the cover of the VHS.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, it's, oh, God.
It doesn't matter.
It's like Pretty Kill.
Pretty Kill?
Yeah.
That's the movie?
Yeah.
I never even heard of that. Pretty Kill?
Pretty Kill.
What the hell? Yeah, I never even heard of that.
Really?
Never.
I'm sure if you saw the video cassette cover,
maybe
you would remember.
But dude, that does not sound familiar at all. Well, so you got Mike and Debbie, right? Their boyfriend and girlfriend. Dave is the cop, who looks like the bully from Karate Kid.
Oh yeah, I was always
Doesn't he look like a William
Zabka?
Zabka?
Yeah.
I'm like looking, going, oh, he totally like this could be his older brother with the hair and shit.
We need an actor that looks like William Zabka. That's not William Zabka. Because William Zabka is going to charge us $500,000.
Yeah, he's going to charge us more.
So this guy we can get for like $20,000.
Yeah, if that. Mooney, which is the other cop, who's a total d-bag. You could tell like he's just an old curmudgeon, right? Like he's probably been doing this a long time as a cop or whatever the hell he is at this small little town.
John Vernon, every role he plays the same person.
He's kind of a dick, huh?
He's the same person in every movie.
Yeah.
He's never like a nice guy. He's always a dick.
Yeah, I don't remember him ever. I can't think of a movie where he would have been like kind of a cool.
No.
I don't know. I mean, of course, obviously Animal House comes to mind.
Yeah.
And this one offhand, I mean, I'm sure I've seen him in other shit. I don't remember. And then we got Rich and Paul, which are the Terenzi brothers. They own an ice cream truck.
Oh God, yeah.
And yeah, I think honestly, there's a few other characters, but I think those are the main ones.
Those are main.
So Mike and Debbie are, I don't know. What's funny is there's always in television shows, what comes to mind is Happy Days, or movies where there's always a makeout spot, right? That you go to.
Oh yeah.
And everyone goes there.
That's funny.
It's weird to me. And maybe I'm just totally stupid, but you got all these cars parked next to each other and everyone's like making out and doing shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would think I would feel a little weird being parked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next to other people.
everybody.
Right?
Like, it's almost like the drive-ins, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I know people do that at the drive-ins, but I think most people go to watch the movie. But when you're going to a make-out spot, that's what you're doing there, and you're parked a couple feet away from your friends that are, I don't know. It just seems weird. I don't know, but that's where they're at, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the makeout spot was called, but insert name here. I don't know, but that's where Mike and Debbie are,
Right.
Yeah.
and at what point? Oh, that's when the shooting star, they call it a shooting star, comes, and they decide, well, let's go and check it out.
What, dude, how many movies or how many movies has this trope in there?
Oh, I mean, plenty.
Yeah, like
Night of the Creeps. We could argue
The
Creep
Blob.
Show. Creep Show with
Show.
Stephen King. Forget Gordy. What was his character? Jordy.
Yeah.
And even when this hits, the one guy with the dog.
Oh, Paul Dano. Yeah.
With his Pooh Bear or whatever the hell
Pooh
is.
Bear.
Dude, he was over the top. Like, I forget some of the stuff he was saying.
Some of those little phrases he
Those
used.
phrases he
Yeah.
was. What was it like?
Nabbit?
Dead dag nabbit and dip me in oil and fry me up or some shit. What the hell is this shit? And he's got the overalls.
But he was kind of like a Jordy Verrill.
He
Like,
totally was.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where that character came from, was from the Creep Show.
Creep Show came out in 82. This came out in 88. So
Is that the one with the meteorite? And he
Yeah,
turns
Yeah,
into
the
moss?
meteorite. Yeah.
he's like, oh, meteor shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it kind of reminded me of that. And whatever his little one-liners were, yeah, dag nabbit and all these other freaking ones, I don't know. I just felt it was over the top. I didn't have a problem with it because I knew that was the whole that was the point of it.
The funny
right?
thing is that actor, he's been around for years, and he used to do a lot of westerns in the 50s.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
The fact, he's acted with John Wayne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so,
And now he's doing Killer Clowns.
And now he's doing, well, he was in the twilight of his...
Twilight of his career.
Yeah, of his career, so...
Yeah.
Going back to the Killer Clowns, there may be not doing so hot, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm way wrong.
I think my favorite part of the farmer aspect was when he just so happens to be reading a book about meteorites.
Oh yeah.
And then
He's
then
like, Haley's coming.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
That's
that's
pretty funny. Yeah, so he goes to investigate because, again, yeah, total trope, man. Everyone always does this, right? I mean, yeah, the Blob comes to mind. Did they do that in Slither?
Slither, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost
Kind
want
of.
to feel like they did it
Yeah,
in Slither.
because they
right?
were making out in the middle of the forest.
Right?
And,
I
yeah.
mean, this is what they kind of do. So it's
It's-
nothing that's like groundbreaking, like, oh, this is new. Let's throw this in. No,
Let's go
it's been
check it
done,
out.
and it's fine.
Oh yeah, it even happened in Extraterrestrial. Let's go check it out.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, you know. And so he goes to investigate, and oh, hey, there's a tent out in the middle of the friggin' woods. Like, that's not weird.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, oh look, it's the circus.
Yeah, maybe they'll give us some free tickets and shit. Like, whatever, dude. I'm like,
And then he saw the the ropes, and obviously it looked like tubing. He's
but
like,
honestly, I look at it now. Maybe if I looked at it through the eyes of 1988, I would think that was a little weird. But I look at it now, I'm like, no. I mean, because they probably lose all kinds. They probably use like different shit nowadays to tie something down
Right.
instead of just rope. I mean, I don't know. Like, it didn't look so crazy to me. Like, it looked futuristic.
Right.
But I guess I don't know.
well, how big the tent was too. You know, I could understand it being kind of higher duty, you know, anchoring or roping or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. But his dog gets taken. He gets pissed. He gets electrocuted from the friggin'.
yeah,
I don't know, when he grabs because he hits the,
yeah, and he hurts his hand.
and then he grabs it and electrocutes him and shit.
You know what's funny? I just learned that his name was Farmer Gene Green
In the movie?
in the movie.
Father Gene
No,
Green.
Farmer.
Gene Green.
Yeah, and when I think of like Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Green Jeans,
Oh.
so I think it's
That was his character's
yeah,
name?
it was
Really?
a play on that, Mr.
Yeah.
Green Jeans.
Huh, that's
which was,
interesting.
Captain Kangaroo's friend.
Now, does one of the clowns come out and hit him with the little ray gun?
Yeah.
And turn him into a little cocoon?
Well, they don't show him turning into a cocoon. Yeah.
They don't?
Yeah,
They
no.
show it later?
Uh,
They show him later, like in the thing?
they show him when they discover him. Right when the couple goes
when they
inside
go
the
in,
tent.
Mike and Debbie go in the
I
tent.
think so.
When they go in and
That could have been someone else, but yeah,
Huh.
I think that's
You're
about
right.
Yeah. But
so they go in thinking, oh, hey, this is cool. Let's check out this tent out in this circus tent out in the middle of nowhere. Dude, I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. They're going down these corridors, and it's like, this doesn't look like any circus tent I've ever seen. And then when they saw that freaking area that looked like the Death Star, where
Oh, I know it totally did.
yeah, where they had the big,
reactor or something.
reactor shocking thing,
And then it didn't look like below was just like infinite. Like
Yeah.
it just like there was no bottom there.
it kind of reminded me of like Invaders from Mars or the Death Star. Just
Yeah.
kind of going down. I do have to say
Yeah.
that I think the killer, I think Mike and Debbie, they kind of screwed everybody in the town
For going in there.
there
Yeah.
because it didn't seem like the clowns were just isolated there.
But okay. But really why would they set up shop there and then not go into town? What was the whole point of that?
Maybe they were just like
Were they just there chilling? Like they
Chilling.
were on vacation?
they were chilling,
Like they were taking a holiday?
Maybe they wanted to take a break from
going to each other
Yeah,
for-
going to through the stars, and they're like, let's take a break.
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think with as many cocoons that they had, I think their whole purpose was to go to each area and stock up.
Oh, definitely.
Stock up.
I mean,
right?
they had that infrastructure for all the cocoon hanging
Exactly.
and the popcorn machine, and
Yeah.
they were ready.
I think Mike and Debbie just going in there was just whatever.
It just accelerated it.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they were going to give them a day before they.
Because
you
they
know.
did follow him,
Yeah.
you see them all follow him, and then it said like this way into town.
Yeah, I know.
Which
I know.
that sign, by the way, is great. Like if you guys see that
So- yeah.
Crescent Cove, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and then it just happens to have like this staged patch of grass or something. It
does,
looked great.
It's pretty funny, man. Yeah. So they go and follow him into town. In the meantime, Debbie and Mike go to the Dave, cop Dave, Sheriff Dave. I don't know.
Oh,
what
yeah,
the hell.
they
Is he
went-
a cop? Is he a police
Yeah,
officer?
he's
right?
a police officer.
Because didn't it say like Crescent Cove Police Station? Okay, so
Yeah,
police. Okay,
yeah.
because some of those smaller towns have like sheriffs and shit, and so this was a police station.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, Mooney being Mooney is like, they go to tell Dave the story, and Mooney's like, whatever, man. But you go ahead, Dave, and go check it out. And then of course Dave's focusing on the whole fact that I guess they used to be together, and now she's with Mike. And I was thinking about this. So they're probably in college, right? How much older was Dave? I mean, he's a police officer. He looked older. Does that take time? I mean, I think.
Well, he looked like he could have been 23.
So you think he was like, college isn't for me. Let me become a cop.
Maybe.
You think
be.
so? Small
Yeah.
little town.
Or
Well-
he could be a few years older, like 3 or 4 years older than Debbie.
It sounded, from Mooney's conversation with him, he was poking fun at the fact that Dave had been at the academy, right? Oh. So he was poking. So maybe he was just out of the academy.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's
that type
fairly
of
new
thing.
out of the
It's-
academy.
could
Okay,
be.
so
That
he's
makes
kind of
sense.
a rookie.
Yeah.
Kind of a
almost a
rookie.
rookie. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
But to go back at when they were describing what they had seen in the police station, and they're telling Mooney, and he that's when he name drops the movie, and he's like whistles.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
the killer.
Killer clowns from outer space.
Or he goes, they might make a dummy out of you, but they're not going to make a dummy out of me. I'm like, oh, foreshadowing.
That was the best.
That's hilarious.
That's pretty good. This is what I found was funny. I didn't think I noticed it until rewatching it last night. When they take when Dave takes Debbie back to her house, he's
Yeah.
like, look, you're either going to stay at the police station, I'm going to lock you up, you're going home.
I know what you're gonna say.
What are you going to say?
That
What?
she took the longest shower in the
Fucking
world.
A, dude, I think the shower was over half the movie.
Dude, her shower was like 20 minutes of the movie.
Oh, dude, no, there was more than 20. I felt like that was at least a fucking third of the movie, if not half of the movie. I was like, she hops in, and then all this shit is happening with Dave and Mike. And then she comes back, and I'm like, holy shit, the movie's almost over.
Yeah.
Right? I
Right.
mean, so.
I think they had to do something with her, but they're like, oh yeah, remember Debbie? That's what they were doing.
She could have just fucking went with them, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I like Suzanne Snyder. I felt like she was pretty good in this. I felt like there could have been more of her instead of a shower that just lasted forever.
Yeah.
Was it supposed to so that they could do all of these different things?
Yeah, probably.
And then
Yeah.
the fact that these popcorn monster thingies could, what do you call these things? Little popcorn, I don't know. They're cool. They're
weird.
cool as hell.
Yeah.
They're cool as hell looking. I love these things,
Oh, you know what's funny is, and when we saw her a few years ago,
Yeah.
I made comment to her that she's Debbie in this movie, and in Weird Science her name's Deb.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
so she's
yeah.
Debbie, Deborah
kinda weird,
in
huh?
both movies. Yeah,
I wonder why that is.
remember Deb and Hilly
Devin Hilly. Yeah. Yeah.
from Weird Science.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just something I noticed last night. I had to
Yeah.
bring it up. I'm like, that's a long ass shower.
Oh, well, the guys went to go check the tent.
Dude, they did all kinds
And
of shit.
They did all this stuff. The clowns were terrorizing town, and then all of that, and then by the time she gets out of the shower,
Didn't they meet up with the Terenzi brothers as well? While she was still in the freaking shower?
yeah, I think so.
Because it's like this shit happens, right? She goes in the shower for 40 minutes, and then the clowns come and grab her. And then she's stuck in a balloon, and then, so
the
we see her a little bit later.
The popcorn that was stuck to her,
Yeah.
like
she had to jump over that. She threw the shower curtain over that, right?
right.
But then wasn't the clowns at the door?
Oh yeah,
Because while she's in the shower forever, the clowns are basically taking over the town.
They are.
And I like some of these effects where they knock on the door, and the one kind of younger chick, and they have the pizza boxes, and then the little tiny, is it tiny?
Yeah.
Jumps out of the. I'd like these effects,
that looks
or I think it was the one bigger clown with the Valentine heart thing.
Oh yeah, for the old lady.
yeah. Or dude, the part I loved is when the clown's walking with its bag and it's out in front of the drugstore.
Yeah.
And it stops and it starts moving like an animatronic, like robot. I mean, dude, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Like I would have not even given it a second look and I would have walked right past. I would fucking know.
100%.
Like little things like that in this movie, I think are great.
Right.
You know? So yeah. Anyways, I love when the acting on this is terrible. But when Tiny's on the little, his little, I don't know what you call that, like a
bicycle?
tricycle, like
It was supposed to be
weird
like
thing.
a tricycle.
Yeah, tricycle.
And it's got all these like gadgets and stuff, and he rolls up to the
bikers.
the local biker gang, and I paused to read some of the graffiti. Dude, it was bad. I don't remember what some of it was. It made no fucking sense. It's almost like some set designers got to like, okay, well, this is the scene where we have the bikers and stuff, and we got to make it look kind of, badass, and then they have no idea what to put on the walls and shit.
And none of these bikers would be hanging out together.
No, dude. And then the one dude, and when Tiny rolls on up, and the acting was terrible
Oh yeah.
here.
What, you gonna knock my block off?
I mean, I think it's great too that the fact that it's a fun movie, right? It's clown,
Yeah.
but like the clown jumps out of frame and they're like, where did he go? But it's like,
Yeah.
where is he gonna go? Like where would he just jump
He
to the side
just disappeared.
and then
And he's got the boxing gloves on, and he knocks his block off. Dude, it's just little goofy things.
All the
like
murders are literal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I would say like when the Big Top Burger, when they're at Big Top Burger, and you got
He's waving at the little girl.
yeah,
That's
that's
creepy.
That's creepy,
That was creepy.
right?
That was creepy.
Like, would you go as I don't know, what would you say that girl was? 8?
No, I would
10? Younger?
say younger.
Younger? Like 6 or 7? I felt she was older than that.
Yeah, probably about 8.
Probably about 8.
Yeah, maybe 8 or 9.
Like, I mean, the clown's creepy, and it's nighttime, and you're just gonna roll on out there. I don't know.
And it doesn't look like a trustworthy clown.
No, it
not at
doesn't.
all.
It doesn't. It
It's
looks like
all
it's gonna eat me.
Waving at her,
Well, the fact that everybody in town is like, they're smiling because they think these are clowns, but you look at those clowns and they're terrifying.
They're terrifying. They don't look like friendly clowns.
Not at all.
No, they look like they're doing damage.
Yeah.
Or the puppet scene.
Oh, with the gazebo.
The little puppet scene.
The guy's all checking them out.
He
and
just
stuff.
happens to roll up to the gazebo. No, he's not with anyone, but he rolls up to the gazebo.
He probably saw the puppet thing, and then he's like, "Oh, I wonder what this is," and he just
Yeah.
rolled up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I love the scenes, and his expressions are just over the top. Like he's rolling his eyes, and it's like, what is this shit? And then so, but it's like it's. I think it's what's kind of funny about the whole movie, and it really kind of it makes it the campy feel, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much, because I know it's not trying to be serious at all.
Well,
Like all this stuff is intentional.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's why I think like some of the actors were probably like their friggin' friends, like, their buddy or their cousin. It's like, hey, we're doing this movie. Really? You're doing a movie called Killer Clowns? But the brilliant part of this movie is from 1988, and that is how many years? That is 34 years? 35 years? 35 years.
Yeah.
35 years from since this movie is done, and it is still as popular, especially when it comes to all the shit that they sell, all the marketing. You just went into my room. You saw all the shit I have.
Yeah.
of
And
Killer
I
Clowns.
would say in the last 10 years, the merchandising is
has
like
skyrocketed. They have a video game. Have you seen
yeah.
the
Yeah, I
video
saw the
game?
trailer.
Yeah, video game, dude. Like it's still 35 years later. We have one film.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they've talked about doing a sequel for years.
I wonder if they could recapture that.
No.
though. I don't think they
I
could.
think-
I don't. They would ruin it. I think because
think so.
the movie obviously presents itself like it doesn't take itself serious.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
movie is in its own lighthearted.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it's trying to be scary, and I think that's what sets the tone. So if they had changed that, it's going to change the feel of the
And
movie.
the 80s was more of an innocent time to where now everything is like self-aware.
Yeah.
What, 20 years ago, almost 25 years ago, Scream did the self-aware thing. Now
Yeah.
things are even more self-aware.
Oh, yeah. A
where
lot more.
the 80s is like, nobody knew that you were in the middle of a freaking horror movie. You know,
Yeah,
it's like now you are.
And then how would you even do it? Would you okay, so you would make a movie now, but would you still be in the 80s and capture that feel? You could maybe get away with it, or would it be like 2023? Like, how would it even work?
Oh, they would. Well, if they brought those actors back, they'd have to make it for today.
Yeah, they would have to modernize it because I mean, a lot of things won't just translate over. You
Yeah,
know, the
true.
way that they saw things in the 80s. I mean, I'm wasn't born in the 80s or nothing, but
Right.
But you know enough with growing up with your dad,
Yeah.
being from that era, that kind of that time frame.
Right.
You were subjected to a lot of 80s stuff, so I think you have a good grasp on it.
Yeah.
More so than I think a lot of people. And I would say my kids are the same way. I just don't know how you would do it. I would love to see it if you could somehow execute that and still capture that feel and but make it more modern. But I would want the clowns to look the same way. Like,
the clowns are doing DoorDash. And
they're all doing DoorDash now.
coming through.
They're getting like selfies. Like all of a sudden, like someone's walking down the street and they see a clown. Like, hey, this is cool. Let's take a picture.
They're all, hey.
And it's like, I don't know, man.
Going viral.
Going viral. I don't know how they could do it. I think they probably missed their window, but they really don't need to. Video games and all the merchandise they sell. I mean, it's still super popular.
I think if they did remake it, just keep it in the 80s. Try and just hold that feel, I guess.
I don't know, man. I hope they never remake it, but I definitely would like a sequel.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I think I would. I'd be on board.
Yeah, maybe Mike and Debbie.
Oh,
call her Deb.
Yeah.
Mike and Debbie got married, and they have kids now.
Oh,
Yeah.
we know. I mean, we met them a few years ago. We know they're still. They would probably do it.
Yeah,
That'd
they'd probably be down
I
for
actually
it.
thought I read somewhere that they would be down on doing that.
And then there was like maybe a total world, invasion.
Huh.
And they were like trying to help the president, almost like a Independence Day where they're trying to help the president. Like,
I don't know about that. I feel that after 35 years, they probably have 1 million scripts for a sequel.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're listening to this going, what the hell? What is it? The hell's your fear talking about, dude? We got better scripts than what the fuck are you talking about? So, but anyways, let's see here. Most of the towns get taken over, right?
Yeah.
By the clowns.
Yeah, they're having
Like they're literally like if there's a parade going down the street
where they're
and
collecting people from house to house.
they're like, but they're scooping them up in this weird,
It's like a vacuum or something.
I was thinking about this. The guy that was underneath the car, why the fuck did he just stay there?
I have no idea. That made me mad.
Dude, I would have just stayed. Let them pass.
Yeah.
And then I'll just casually.
Get out. That's what I would have done in my nightmares whenever I have.
Oh, absolutely. I
I'm
stay.
like, I stay.
I don't
too.
move, dude. I stay.
I wait
Yeah.
until they're out of sight, and
Yep.
then I move. Mm-hmm. But that machine that they had, it reminded me of like a Whoville thing
It did, right?
Yeah.
from the Grinch or
Yeah,
something.
it did kind of remind me of that. And then what did it do? Like it scooped, like they would shoot someone, turn them into a cotton candy cocoon, and they would just kind of scoop them in.
It was
Yeah.
Kind of like, And then, I don't know, man. I just love all that shit. The cotton candy. I mean, it's fucking awesome, dude. It's like we're going to shoot them with this toy gun, and what are we going to turn them into? What a fucking about a cotton candy cocoon. They're all drawing it up, and it's like fucking awesome.
But you think that their home planet, it's like they're a twisted version of like our funny like circus entertainment,
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting to see what that would be like, huh?
Right.
Like their planet.
See, that would be a good sequel.
Oh,
maybe
to go to their planet.
you figure out, where they're from or something, and
Like some backstory on that. Like maybe it doesn't spend the whole movie on that, but like a 5-10 minute, you know.
almost like a Prometheus to.
Yeah, maybe.
aliens.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah.
See what they could do with that, especially nowadays. I'm sure they could do like some green screen and do some really cool shit in the back.
Totally.
I know we're getting off. Well, anyways. Yeah, man. If how do you pronounce their names? The Chiodo brothers?
I would say
Kyoto?
Kyoto or
Kyoto?
Yeah.
Kyoto brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. If you guys want some ideas, just hit us up.
Yeah.
Let's make that shit happen.
What was it Charles, Stephen, and Edward?
I can't remember their
Yeah.
names.
But they were FX guys that
Yeah.
decided to do this and fun. I don't know if they funded it themselves, but yeah.
They
But
might
they-
have. They might have.
But I always thought their stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. My clown mask that I have in my collection's a Kyoto mask.
Kyoto.
Yeah.
Did they do the effects on Critters?
I think they did.
I think they
Critters,
did.
Critters 2.
I think on Critters too. Yeah, yeah. For some reason, I thought I saw that on somewhere. All right, so we know that most of the town has become cotton candy.
Yeah.
Debbie has been taken by the clowns.
And they didn't turn her into cotton candy.
They didn't. They took her in. They put her in a balloon.
in a balloon, which of course, for the purposes of to expand the story with her in it, they could have just went dark and just killed her.
They could have.
Oh,
They could have.
easily.
They could have taken one of those crazy straws to her and just sucked out whatever.
Yeah.
But then Mike and Dave. No, okay, hold on a second. That's right, because Rich, Paul, and Mike are in the ice cream truck to go get Debbie.
Yeah.
When they get there, they see that she's been taken, so they go after her. And then Dave is in his car. We got to talk about the Mooney scene though,
Okay.
because the one two kind of, I don't know what you call them, like kind of punk, kind of rock, kind of dudes who are in jail in the cell.
Yeah.
They're in there. The clown comes in and starts screwing with Mooney, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He goes to arrest him, and then makes a run for it. And then Mooney goes to get him, and then, I don't know, man. There's a little bit, not really a fight, but he ends up, I don't know, he ends up killing Mooney, right? I
Right.
mean, I don't know.
He slammed him against the cell.
Yeah,
or
the
something
cell
like
or
that?
something like that. And then the other dudes we find out later when Dave goes into the police station that the other dude's been turned into the cocoons. But then there's like a ventriloquist kind of dummy scene where the clown is sitting on a chair and has Mooney.
So, what's funny is James Wan obviously borrowed that idea
For
Dead Silence.
Dead Silence.
Dead
Yeah,
Silence.
I kind of got that impression when,
Yeah. Because when he took his hand
Yeah.
out, the movie was all bloody.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So Mooney did get turned into a dummy.
I liked at the police station how near the cells, where they're leading up to the cells at least, they had all those little footprints.
yeah.
They're like, and
Little
it's
clown
a
print.
straight line. You're like, oh, that's clearly a path, and then you get into the cell, and it's all over the walls.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going up the walls.
And
totally.
it's everywhere.
It's little shit like that I really,
Yeah.
That you could tell they had this crazy idea, but then they did all these things, and I felt the execution was spot on. Because this easily could have gone south and just been a terrible movie, but you put in that extra little effort, and I think that's why I enjoy this movie so much. But okay, so Mooney's gone, town's pretty much taken over. I think Dave ends up hitting the ice cream truck because the brothers slam on the brakes. He hops in the truck. We got to go find Debbie. Well, where are you going to go? Well, we're going to go to, what is it, an amusement park, right?
Yeah.
Where else is the clowns going to be? They're going to be at the amusement
Where's
park.
their circus
Yeah,
spaceship? gonna be?
that's on the outskirts of town.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Where else would that?
because they disappeared from their meteor area.
No, I was more focused on the fact that there's an amusement park outside of town. It feels Scooby-Doo to me.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a Friday night, right? On this movie, at least I believe it is. I think
I don't know if it's a Friday night, and the thing is, I think I know what you're going to say. Well, where's all the people?
100%.
But if all the town is now cocoons, then
Well, why aren't they hanging out at that?
Yeah,
'Cause
you know-
it kind of looked like almost like a boardwalk or like a pier.
it almost looked though like it was closed because you had the
Right.
security guard.
Oh, true.
I don't know, man. I mean, that's a good
You're right.
question though, Dylan. Like because the weather looked nice, right?
Uh-huh.
So if I'm in a small town, there's nothing to do. I'm going to go to the amusement park, especially if the weather's good.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, why aren't any of them there? Unless all of them, the whole town is now, I don't know, cotton candy. I don't know, man. I felt like some of them should have been there chilling and kicking it and doing rides and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Get too much into. I mean, it is.
I mean, yeah. For the sake of the movie, you kind of sometimes we always say you got to just let shit go.
yeah.
But they get to so the clowns get there, right, in that tiny little car. And this is what I did like, is all these clowns getting out of this tiny little car. Again, these little details.
Well, they had to go with all the little clown tropes,
Yeah. And then throw the pie at the. What did he say? What are you going to do with those pies, boys? Or something like that. Is that what he says?
Yeah.
They're like acid pies.
Acid pies.
And I like they introduced like a new weapon,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah, right.
It's like because you're getting towards the end of the movie, you're like, oh, okay, I've already know what to expect. Either cocooning or cotton candy or
popcorn.
Yeah. And so. Yeah, to see the pies, it was kind of cool.
Yes, and then the fact that the pies basically disintegrates this dude, but it looks like a friggin' big, like almost like a sundae, and then little tiny puts a little cherry on top. Again, it's kind of cool little shit like this, But then, so then they get to the amusement park. They go inside, right, to try to find Debbie, and they go through all the little. I don't even know what this is, man. I mean, it's kind of cool. Like they got like the little what are those balls that like when you go to like a Chuck E. Cheese and it has those.
Ball?
No, the little plastic balls. Like when you jump into a thing and it's got balls,
like a ball pit.
Ball pit. Yeah, it didn't have that. Like when the brothers, they pushed a button and then they disappeared and they went down the little slide, and then you introduced the two like female clowns with.
Just started growing boobs.
They started growing like big old like balloon boobs, which is funny because it comes into play earlier when they were asking Mike about Debbie's roommates, and he's like, "Oh yeah, she's got roommates and they got big boobs," and so of course it comes into play again. I just thought it's just kind of funny, right? You got these girl fucking killer clowns. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just, so, but they make their way through, right? Do they finally find, they find Debbie in that one room.
Right.
And she's still in the balloon. They, I guess, shoot it, right? Mm-hmm. Pops the balloon. She comes out. She's okay. This is a thing too, right? In a balloon, you have no air. Wouldn't she have been dead?
Yeah.
I mean, I think she does say like I couldn't breathe or something like that.
To try to
try and But going back to the fact that she's the only person we've really seen ballooned.
Yeah.
It's like obviously a little plot armor.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you throw that out, then maybe you suspend belief that okay, well maybe there's something inside there. There's enough air for her to be okay. I don't know.
It's. I mean, if you're going to the cotton candy cocoons, right? That's their form of feeding off of that. But then what's the balloon for?
What is the balloon for?
Is it
I mean, what purpose does the balloon serve in the scheme of things for the clowns?
Yeah.
Nothing. For the purpose of the movie and to keep her alive. Correct. That's really what it boils down to, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
But then there's they walk through, and then there's the big, I guess the ending with all the other clowns. Like you focused on the 4 or 5 throughout the movie, and then I felt like, okay, they're like, shit, we need about like 30 or 40 clowns. It's like, oh, let's rustle up some clowns together and let's see what we can fucking make.
There was like only 4 different designs, and then they put different clothes on them
and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Especially if you're on a small budget.
Yeah,
you got to stretch it out.
It was like $2 million, and most of it went to the production.
Yeah, and I had no issue with the very end with all the clowns. Like they didn't focus on them a lot.
Yeah.
So I felt like you don't spend a lot of time on those clowns. You're not going to see I don't know.
No, I agree.
So, but then the brothers show up in their ice cream truck. How the hell did they get the ice cream truck in there?
I can't remember.
They smashed
through the wall.
Yeah.
Just somehow.
But somehow, wherever they were was on the outside of the wall, even though they had walked forever inside of this. I don't know. It's all right. It's okay.
They're walking inside and they fall down, but somehow they end up outside again.
Yeah.
To drive the truck through.
The girl clowns are gone, and they come in, and then and then they do like a whole like I don't know, Wizard of Oz kind of thing with the whole, with the voice and stuff, and they're pretending to be this, whatever clown and
JoJo.
Yeah.
The great and powerful JoJo.
The great and powerful JoJo, yeah. So yeah, I mean, he comes down, like the big ass clown comes down, right, as they're trying to make their way to the truck.
Clownzilla.
Yeah. Was their idea to originally make a big clown, but of course they couldn't, so they made it seem like it was, bigger?
Yeah.
Is that kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think they were going to do like stop motion for it.
Oh.
Like, because parts of that, clown driving and that car on the side of the car was, you notice it was stop motion.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
But then it was like actual, when they did the close up, it was like.
I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Like, because I knew it was just a regular sized clown to make look big, but I was fine with that. If you try to do stop motion, I probably wouldn't have liked that. It probably would have,
Taken away.
kind of messed up, the ending for me.
Well, you think of it like The Thing, how they have those little insert shots of the final thing, what Kurt Russell is. Some of it's like stop motion, and it kind of takes me out just a touch.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So big clown, right?
Yeah.
Big clown.
Rick,
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
So leading up to that big
Yeah.
clown, I don't know if you noticed this on your watch.
All right. What?
But they had the shotgun, right?
Yeah.
They're going through those doors. Remember, he said, another door.
Yeah. Another door. Yeah.
And he
yeah.
just kept going through.
Yeah.
Do you notice they barred the door with the shotgun?
They did. Yeah.
It didn't even seem like they were out of ammunition, though. They were just like, oh, yeah, we're just going to use this gun now to bar the door. And then they just leave it there. And
Yeah.
never,
Just left it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I did notice that. But it did nothing.
it did nothing.
It did nothing because all the clowns got in there anyways. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
And I was watching it. I was like, I would have held on to that.
Oh, for
you
sure.
know.
For sure, man. Yeah.
That was all. I had to
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that part. So, all right. So basically Dave wants to be the hero, right? Hey, you guys go. I got this. And then what does he do? Doesn't he take like his what was it from his little his badge, and doesn't he pops the big old clown's nose in it?
Right.
Yeah.
That part was hilarious.
It was kind of funny.
You know,
It was whatever.
Because if you pop the noses, they explode.
Yeah.
I just figured the
big
big-
one,
the
you
big
think,
one.
maybe it was like, I don't
Tougher.
know. Tough. Yeah, thank you. Tougher. A little thicker. It was
Boss,
gonna be-
boss level.
yeah.
Yeah, right? But he went out like a little bitch like all the other ones. And then didn't it start to like, then they got out, right? And then didn't all of the wires start to come in, like the whole,
It was imploding. Yeah.
yeah, it was imploding.
Almost like the end of Poltergeist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they made it out, and then the shit, I don't know, whatever happens, I don't know, it blows up, right? And then all of a sudden doesn't their truck like hit the Terenzi brothers, and they were in the freezer?
Yeah.
Is that where they were?
Yeah.
They're in the freezer, so they survived that.
So I think they fly out with the clown car that we
With the
see.
clown car?
Yeah,
Okay.
the clown car. And
Oh,
then,
but they survived because they were okay. I get
yeah,
you.
and then the state police that they had called for backup.
yeah,
were
they
all
finally
there.
show up at the very end.
Exactly.
Okay, so this was the part. Okay, you guys had to have noticed this. Mike and Debbie are together. Why was Dave have his hands on her shoulders and giving her a kiss on the head? Like, what? All of a sudden you're back together now?
Oh no! Didn't you notice throughout the whole movie there was a little like three-way kind of thing going on?
It was a power play.
Yeah,
was a power
because
play.
it almost seemed
It
like
was a power play though, Dylan. Is that what you think? Okay.
It
Maybe,
almost didn't
maybe.
seem like Debbie was over Dave throughout the whole movie.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Oh, I thought she was. I
No.
didn't. Did you think she was over him, Dylan?
Debbie over Dave?
Yeah.
I think she was. I don't think Dave was.
Dave was definitely,
definitely
not.
not
Oh
over.
no.
No, Dave.
I felt she was, Morris.
Really?
But Dave, yeah, I did. But Dave, no. But so then at the end, he's like, he's all grabbing her. He's like kissing her head. I got uncomfortable with that scene.
Yeah.
I was thinking if I was Mike, I'm like, fuck you, dude.
He's like, I don't care, you're a cop. I'm gonna beat your ass.
Fuck yeah, man. So I don't know.
I mean, and there's a couple times throughout the movie where Mike's like, "Oh, hey man, sorry about Debbie.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know you guys were a thing."
What Dave says, he's like, well, she obviously chooses laughs over
over stability.
Stability. I'm like, what a dick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, oh.
I don't know.
Well,
I
what
guess
else is he going to say? Is he
I
gonna
know.
Is he going to try to be nice?
No, I mean, I guess in the scheme of things, Dave did save the day.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if he should win the girl because of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
I
either.
do like the fact, I mean, maybe like is a light term, but find it funny that because they killed the big clown, all of a sudden the whole circus thing blows up.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like a vampire, right? You kill the main person and then all of I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just seems like, could you come up with something? I don't
Tropey.
know. Yeah, very tropey. I don't know.
Well, it would be harder to kill. I mean, you kill the main one and then you have to kill the rest of them, you know,
Yeah.
to get out.
I don't know. I mean, but they'd kill. Well, yeah, that's true. Probably have 20 or 30 that maybe you have to kill. Whatever, man. I guess there's no rules, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When killer clowns from outer space come, I guess there's really no set rules on what you can do or can't do. I don't fucking know, man. Yeah.
So yeah, the music was some of my favorite.
Oh, for sure, man.
Like the main theme song for the movie
Oh yeah,
is great.
Yeah, it is.
But
dude,
just
it is.
like the little synthy sounds
Yeah.
throughout the movie.
Oh, absolutely,
is so good.
absolutely, dude. That's what I miss about the '80s is all the synth stuff that
The
we.
synth stuff was the best.
Dude, this shit is awesome. I still love synth. I'm like, you need to bring that shit back. I feel like there's a right now. I think you could bring synth back, and I think people would not even go, "What is that?" Like it would just work, man.
Yeah.
Like it seems like nowadays they take all the shit that you and I Morris grew up on, and they bring it back. It comes full circle, and then the younger generation tries to pass it off like it's theirs. I'm like, fuck you, it's yours. We grew up on that shit. Synth, man, bring synth back. I don't know, man.
I agree. No, yeah. I think synth adds like a lot of for as minimal as the sound is, it adds so much layers or like depth.
Like
to-
depth, yeah, especially in horror movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I feel like you could, like any fucking horror movie, you could throw some synth in and it works. Like I didn't. It Follows. I'm pretty sure they threw synth in there.
Oh yeah.
I think they did. You know, and I thought it was awesome, man. Anyways, all right, that's not a rant, but bring some synth back. Anyways, that's Killer Clowns, y'all.
So-
Did we miss anything?
I have a question for you, Rick.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the very end when they get pied? At the very
Yeah, the
closing
very
scene,
end,
Do you
yeah.
think they're gonna die?
Yeah, because yeah,
No, because I think that was shit.
they did get pied. So
Well,
why would
it was
they melt?
it was the shit from the explosion, right? It was from the explosion. It was like stuff that was still in the air. Not quite sure how it lasted up in the air that long. You think they died because they got hit by the pie? I don't know.
Because all we know from the pie,
No.
is that it disintegrated that
It did.
security guard.
It did.
So
but
that's-
maybe this is a different pie.
That's true.
Maybe the other pie was a special pie.
Oh, the other thing too is when Mike gets cocooned a little bit,
Yeah.
and he's like ripping it off. The cocoon, you would think that it kind of absorbs your body and
Yeah.
and kind of dissolves your body.
Huh.
But he didn't seem like his skin was
No.
all like.
Well, I mean,
messed
again, I
up.
think for the sake of the movie, right?
Right.
You got the three main characters.
They're not going to.
We kind of throw shit out, right? Like it doesn't apply to them.
Right.
It's like the balloon with, Debbie and, I don't know. I guess if I was to say, if they were doing a sequel, I would say, well, obviously not because, and then they came back, but I don't know. That's a good question. Huh.
I always thought about that. Every time at the
Yeah.
end, I'm like, oh, what does that mean?
Yeah. Did that like all of a sudden just melt? I don't know. Huh. Maybe we'll never know.
Yep.
Maybe we'll never know. Anyways, that's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's it. Anyone else?
No.
Do we anything else that you guys like were like, oh, that's kind of cool, but we haven't talked about?
I noticed little on-set bloopers that they kept. For instance, when they're in that amusement park area
Yeah.
and they're running on the inside, whatever the layout is, they've got like these monster kind of build outs and stuff, and they're
Yeah.
going through them. When they're running, there's these like cutouts of what looks like stars and circles and stuff
Yeah,
just
yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah.
And there's
Oh, one of them moved.
Yeah,
I
they-
saw that last night,
yeah,
Dylan.
they kicked him. They kicked one of them on the ground.
I'm glad you brought that up. I noticed that last night.
Yeah,
Yeah, he kicked one of the little fucking things.
And it was just, obviously it wasn't intended, but
No, not at all.
But they kept it. You
Yeah, they
know?
left it in.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh hey, I noticed that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I did notice that last night. That's funny, dude. Shit. I guess that's it. I guess that's all. Hey, man, if anyone has never seen it, go check it out.
Yeah.
You know,
It's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's campy. It's all that shit.
It's a movie that you can watch with like Return of the Living Dead or Monster Squad.
yeah.
It's got a campy horror feel, but it's not too over the top.
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Well, Dylan, thanks for coming on out, buddy.
Yeah.
We've wanted to have you out for a while, so
Yeah,
we finally
Dylan.
did, and so hopefully you come out again.
This was fun. Thanks for
Thanks
for having me.
Definitely, man. I guess that's it. No one wants to add anything.
No, I think I'm good.
I guess everyone.
It's worth a watch if no one's
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah, definitely give it a watch. That's it. Everyone, take care.
Bye-bye.
You listened all the way to the end. We appreciate that. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ear for Fear Podcast, Twitter at Ear for Fear, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ear for Fear Podcast. You can also check out our website, earforfear.com. There we list news and events. We're available on all the main platforms, so make sure you tell a friend. We hope you come back and get an earful.